Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome on in. This is Wagworks GA. This is the channel. I'm Jeff, or Wags, if you will. The GA is Jeff and Ashley, my wife, who is also the writer on our creative team. I am the artist, and art is what you'll see here. I think it's pretty much every night. Yeah, I don't think we've done any different streams. No, interviews. We've done interviews with other artists. That's right. I forgot. But yeah, tonight, art. Don't mind me. I'm just settling in, grabbing my coffee. Whew. Well, I hope you're all having a good night so far. Congratulations, it's Thursday night. If you work a regular work week, you are on the home stretch. I know I am. Looking forward to the weekend. Be good. It'll be good. Excuse me. And happy Lunar New Year to those of you who do celebrate that. We are in the 2-week Chinese festival for the Lunar New Year, which started on the 17th, which was Tuesday. So I'll be finishing out the horse illustration tonight for Year of the Horse. And then, yeah, I think we're going to hop over and work on that CoreToons piece we started a few weeks ago. Probably. I think that's what we'll do tonight. That definitely needs to be done in the relatively near future. So that's the plan for tonight. I'm trying to think if we actually have like any announcements going on. I don't think so. All the big stuff has kind of happened for now, and we're moving into steady get things done territory. So CoreToons February issue went out on February, not 1st. Oh gosh, what day was it? It went out the first week of February, is what I'm trying to say. So that's done, and it looks awesome. Very excited for that. Yeah, next GDQ, that piece will be trying to finish probably in May, I believe. That's the plan. D&D illustration is still in the works, working through steadily, but I wanted to get it done by the time we meet at the new library, but the new library it keeps getting pushed back on the opening, so I've got a little time there. So really it's getting ready for our April issue of CoreToons, and of course finishing this Lunar New Year illustration. Actually, let's bring up the artboard. Let's check it out. I don't think I've updated that in a while. Of course I didn't have it ready, which would have been the wise thing to do, but you know, we get there eventually. Pardon me. But yeah, sometimes I've started doing this because I feel like it's useful to actually kind of map out where I'm going, or at least what I know for the big ticket stuff I have to get done. So okay. Let's get on over here. Bring that up. All right. Yeah. So here's where we are currently looking at things. Boop, there we go. Better. I think that should fit. Yay. So this is what we'll be finishing this guy tonight. This one is in progress, and this is inked, and we will be, I think, laying down some flat colors on this one tonight. Yeah, oh, I forgot. Oh, I think I missed the submission date for that zine. There was going to be a Kingdom Hearts fanzine, and I wanted to submit a piece to it, but I think I very much missed that deadline. Unless it was March 1st. I need to go back to that. I wanted to do something there. I'm going to get to some Disney illustrations, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. We're still kind of working through these three. Of course, leave it to me to always end up getting like 3 big projects going all at the same time. I think I did the same thing at the end of last year too. But it's good. It's all good. It keeps me busy, and I enjoy doing it. So there are worse things than having plenty of art to do. That's for sure. Yeah. So tell you what. Let's just go ahead and jump into warm up. Beep 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 beep. Enhance. Yeah, that's not the command. Oh, we're off to a good start tonight. All right, there we are. That's the command. There we go. So yeah, I like to do a 5-minute warm-up because, as I've mentioned in the past, I work a day job all day, which is not art. and I need a little bit of time to kind of warm up and loosen up before I jump into my main project for the night. So we're gonna do that, and I encourage you to join along. Draw, paper, draw digitally, however you want. And if you want to share it, you can either, if you can give me a URL here, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, just tag us on Instagram and let us know and share your work. Because I always think that that's when you make work to share, that's kind of when you start growing and you start owning that, yeah, I make art. Yeah, I draw. And I think that's a big deal. I don't know, there's a certain confidence that comes with it once you can accept it. When I first started sharing my art, actually, I had a hard time calling myself an artist because I was like, well, no, I mean, I know I've been drawing my entire life and I know I love doing it, but like, would I really call myself an artist? And this is where having a young kid is helpful, because like they were determined they were just going to start every day being like, hey, artist to me, until eventually they wore me down and I finally owned it, which was great, actually. Yeah, okay, so for our warm-ups, what I like to do is a Pokemon Fusion. Our mod, Frank, suggested this one, and it's been pretty awesome so far. I've been enjoying it. So for that, I use randompokemon.com, their random Pokemon generator, and I just have it pick me 2 completely random Pokemon. Now, there's a couple that if I get them, I might redraw because I've gotten them a few times, but we'll see what we get tonight. And I've opened it up to, I've opened it up to literally everything. So we haven't gotten either of these before, so that's kind of perfect. So we've got Mienfoo and Skarmory. I feel like this is going to be a good one. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and yeet that on out of here. And I'm going to pull up reference real quick so we can get started in just a minute. There's that second where you start doing something and then you forget what you were doing. It's good times. Good times. All right. First up, Mienfoo reference right there. That's actually a good size already. Go ahead and label my layers so I don't get mixed up. Do that thing. There we go. Oop. Okay. And everyone's favorite metal chicken. Here we go. And there's the mashup, folks. Look at that. We're amazing work. No. All right, Skarmory. Here we go. Label the layers again. I feel like this could be some fun names too for it when I mash those together. All right. Bring up my timer. So yeah, this is going to be 5 minutes. We're just sketching. We're really just kind of having a good time. Honestly, if you want to join along, you don't have to draw this particular warm-up. You don't have to do the Pokemon. You can do kind of whatever you want. The main point is just to loosen up and be creative and have some fun. So 5-minute timer. Go ahead and grab your pencils, and we're going to start now. Okay, I'm going to pick a nice, I like doing blue for my sketches here. A lot of the time that's just because blue, when I used to draw and scan in comics, the blue, if you scanned in black and white, the blue didn't pick up as much on the scanner, so it was a good way of hiding your sketch lines a little bit, giving yourself a little bit less cleanup. All right, so how do I do this? They both have kind of a similar main body shape, a little bit. They both have kind of that thin neckline, and then Mienfoo fans out a little bit more. Than Skarmory does. Kind of draw something like that. They're both actually pretty smooth shapes too, so I don't want to over roughen this. So I'll kind of get those metal leg holders. Upper leg muscle, I guess, is what you'd call that for Skarmory. All right. So, and they also both have bands around their neck. It's interesting kind of how similar some of the design is in some ways. All right, that's a little bit too far centered, so we're gonna come back a little. Actually, okay. They both have the eye kind of there. Something like that. Okay, I'm kind of liking how this is going. Okay, we have the bands here. We'll go with 3. So this will be the interesting part. Do we give it arms and wings? Go with kind of this bubbly upper edge here. Maybe give it almost like a bat wing type thing going on here. Kind of mix a little bit of the claws with the fist. Something like this. I'm gonna give it kind of a little bit different stance. Something like this. And I do like the little tail there, so we'll actually give it a little bit of that going on. Okay, I'll resize those a little bit. Center that there. Okay, while this is not as cool as the one from last week, I feel like I am pretty happy with it overall. This is an interesting concept. Alright, that is time. I'm really just darkening up some lines here, finalizing some choices that I made. Alright. I know, I said it's time. I need to honor that. I'm just having too much fun. Okay. And I should go ahead and give it a name. So we're gonna go here. Mianfu plus Skarmory. I see a couple ways we could go. I mean, we could go Scarfu, which is not horrible. But I kind of like Meanery. Meanery seems to fit pretty well. Or Mean Mori. I think Meanery. Meanery. That's not how you spell that. No, I feel like also there should be like to get the color from the tail on Mianfu. And actually a second. There we go. Don't mind me. Just breaking my own rules. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay. All right. You know what? That's pretty okay. It's pretty okay. I'm happy with that for a warm-up at least. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these at some point in the future, but they're fun to make, so I'm saving them. I feel like I could do something interesting with them all at some point. What is today anyway? Goodness, it's the 19th. I always joke with the kids, like, if you ever want to seem like a grown-up, all you really have to do is walk up to someone and be like, man, can you believe it's already, and either say like the day of the week or like the month or the part of the month, like, oh, it's already like late February. I feel like that is, I don't know how many conversations I start that way. It's a lot. I guess that means we keep busy though, so I can't complain about that. I can't and I won't. All right, here we go. So good warm up, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Get started on finishing our good friend, my good friend and yours, Greg the horse, everyone. Greg was aptly named during from some raiders that came in last week, and I enjoyed it a lot. So we're sticking with Greg. Did I do a time lapse on this? Did I forget to turn on time? I did do a time lapse. Okay, so we can see everything. If y'all want to see the whole journey, let me make sure that everything is turned on here so it'll actually show up. Which? There we go. So if I do this, and then I do this, y'all should be able to see it, right? Yes. So yeah, let me adjust that a little bit. There we go. So you can see the whole thing from start to finish. The terrifying 3D model horse is not on there, and I think we can all be thankful for that. But you can see my shape studies. You can see the original, like, more humanized version of the horse coming in, and then finally getting in, and Greg really coming into his own in this format. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I know I said it before, but I was more than a little bit intimidated, knowing that this year was the year of the horse. Because if you haven't seen the last few streams when I've been working on this, I've been doing these since about 2020, kind of as part of working the Lunar New Year into our family tradition. We adopted a child from China, and wanted to respect some of their heritage and have that be some of our shared family experience. And Lunar New Year is a great starting point for that. It's not by any means like the end all be all of it, but it's a fairly good one. No matter where you live, there's usually great festivals you can go to fairly nearby. Yeah, so at any rate, I've been doing this since 2020, and most of the animals have proven not terrible to do, not too challenging, but horses are kind of notorious amongst artists. So yeah, I was a little intimidated, but with a little study and a little work, it's really come together. I'm just about done, really. I know I want to add a ground shadow. I know I might want to do a little work feathering some of these shadows. I want to do a little bit of shading work in the mane and in the tail. I feel like I've gotten the highlights pretty well on the hooves and on the gold elements. So really it's just a little bit of touch up and then we're going to be done. I don't see us working on this much past the our 11 o'clock break, if at all. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I wanted to add a little bit. First of all, a little bit of detail on this tail. Happy with how the shading came in. Just add some darker lines to kind of define some. That's not quite right. Define some of the strands of hair. Actually, that one can run a little bit further. Nope. Actually, this should come along here. Okay. Then I might pull one of these real light colors and then lighten it even a bit more. Do a little desaturating and do some light colored lines. Where you'd have some of these individual strands kind of catching a little bit of light. Actually, I could do... just to give it a little bit of texture. I feel like it was a little too smoothed out before, so this is good. I'm pretty happy with this. On the tail, that is... Okay, we'll get into the mane just a little bit. There's not a crazy amount to do here. Say goodnight to Ash, everyone. That's pretty good. We'll go ahead and actually, what did I turn up? Yep. Okay. Grab my shadow color. Actually, what I should do, so it's probably going to give us a little bit of shading. Some thin guys up here. So right now, the highlights are pretty soft edged, and I've got the shadows a bit sharper edged. I'm debating how much I want to go back and soften up the edges of those shadows, because I like the kind of clean cell shaded look, but I also know it kind of looks a little better rendered and gives you a better sense of shape if you smooth it out somewhat. Let's see. I'm going to do this in a non-destructive way by just making a copy of my layer. So I can play around a little bit. Just really get in there and render it out a bit and see if I like the look of it. For me, because I'm kind of indecisive and also really like the cell shaded look anyway, I like coming in afterwards with just a blending brush and smoothing out those edges. You could do it a lot of other ways. I've seen folks use like the spray can tool. I've seen folks use an actual like round brush, stuff like that. I think everything has its pros and cons, but it kind of comes down to what really feels right for you. At least that's what I keep telling myself. I do think I might keep the hooves with that harder shadow line on it, just because that feels a lot more reflective, if you ask me. Use a little bit of smaller blending brush here to even go smaller a little bit, just to smooth out this edge, but still it'll seem a little bit sharper just because it's not as wide of a line. Same here. So far, I'm pretty happy with this choice. I like to kind of joke. There's so much decision making in art. And ironically, I'm actually kind of terrible at making decisions. Actually, I'm going to use a slightly bigger brush to round this one out. I should finish the main first. See previous comment. But yeah, if you've ever seen me working on brainstorming for like one of my GDQ pieces or something, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You've seen me spend like 3 streams sketching and thumbnailing and penciling just to see like what I might want to do. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better. Hey, Fallen, how's it going? No worries. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you get some rest. I hope Frank's resting if he's wiped out too. Yeah, sorry he's wiped out. I hope he had a good birthday. I know that was this week. But yeah, hi, and good night. All right. Might come in and add just a little more here. And then we'll smooth it. I want to soften this line just a little bit. Yeah, just giving that one a little bit of softness so it doesn't look quite so out of place. Okay. Well, okay, the only other thing that I didn't do yet was I was going to add a ground shadow underneath this fella. I don't even say fella that much. I don't know why. I don't know why that was my word choice. It's fine. It's fine. So you can do something bigger. do a nice Gaussian blur on here. Yeah, I should just do a Gaussian, not the strong blur. See what we got. It's not quite what I want. Yeah, I don't think that's quite it either. We'll just walk that back all the way. Whee! You know what? What if I just try something a little bit different? You know what? I'm going to put the grid on just to make sure. See, I don't know if I like any of these softer shadows that I've been drawing, honestly. I feel like mostly the sharp one actually kind of got what I wanted, although I do want to fix a little bit of this. Maybe like that? I don't know. Let's I think I'm overanalyzing it, to be honest. Also, I might just... Mostly okay with that. Mostly okay. No. All right. I'm gonna do the thing that I should have done earlier, probably in the pencil stage. I'm gonna flip the canvas, and we're gonna see if this looks weird when I flip it, and if it does, that'll be frustrating. But you know. You know what? I think we're okay. I think we're okay, guys. That's great news. Yeah. It's always fun when you do actually, you know, do something like that, but you do it too late, and then you find something like catastrophically wrong. You're like, no. And then you have to actually adjust a whole lot to fix it. I'm glad that wasn't the case. Actually, this came up in a critique group that I'm a part of just today. One of the members of our group has been inking a comic page. And he actually got some cool feedback from another critique group that he's part of. But it really only happened once they saw his inks. And it's kind of that feeling of like, sometimes people need to see more clearly the direction that you're taking it before they can really offer useful critique. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like that paradox of like, you ideally want things like critique, and if you have to make major changes, you want to do it early before you've put a lot of work in. But sometimes you need to put the work in to make it clear what it actually still needs. It's a fascinating paradox. All right, you know what? I think this is more or less done. There is one thing left to do. And that is to sign it. I think I've done that for just about every one of these. Let's see. Save you first. What did I do for last year's? I'm pretty sure I did. Did I not open that one recently? The bunny I didn't sign. Why didn't I sign that one? I know the tiger I did for 24. 24? Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna sign this one. I was gonna do it in the lower corner. For a while I had been, especially when I was more actively posting all my art to like Instagram and stuff, I had read the suggestion that like, oh, if you sign it like along the outline of your line work, it makes it a lot harder for people to lift it. But I'm not as worried about that, also because I'm not really active that much on social media these days. One thing I don't like is the, like, in my signature type strokes, these G pens kind of like to trail off in a weird way. Actually, that's not even what... It's funny, lately I've just been signing it more like that. Nice, okay. All right, I am actually pretty happy with that. And we finished before the break, which is nice. That's nice. Anything else on this guy? I should probably export it. As you do. No, 22 is the tiger. 24 was the dragon. And I did sign along there. Oh, you know what? I did that on the snake too. Well, I'm doing something different this year. All right, look at me go, you guys. Okay. All right, so that is wrapped up. And we are ready to jump back into this, our comic. Oh, I still had a little bit left to ink. Okay, so I think I did a lot of this inking off stream. So you might have seen this last leave off at, maybe I'd inked the left page. At the very least, I had penciled the entire thing, I think. But yeah, now I've gone in, I've got inks for everything except for that last panel there. So we're just gonna jump in and do that. We're just gonna jump in and do that. Let's see. Wait. Sorry, I'm looking at my layers. This probably doesn't really make any sense to you because you can't see me clicking the layers on and off, but that is incorrectly labeled as the background inks, but really it is the foreground inks. Huh? Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, that's better. Okay. Okay. Now, what do I want to be the foreground and what do I want to be the background? Anyway. Oh, did I do it that way on purpose? Because the fence. Okay, that's fine. I can do another layer for the fence because I'd like to actually have a background in addition, because it'll just really be this section of fence here. Everything else will be pretty consistent. So check my brush size. That was far too big. So 5 seems about right. This also I want to fix. You know, it would help if I selected the right layer before trying, so I didn't just do the same thing again. I feel like that proportion makes a lot more sense than what I'd had, if you ask me. Okay. And if you've been here before, you know straight lines are my arch nemesis, so this struggle is not a shock to you. I make myself laugh sometimes. It's good. I chalk that up to being an only child. You know, you just gotta entertain yourself. Actually, this should come all the way down. Yes, I think that is a way that makes sense and doesn't look crazy. So yay for that. Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty good. Okay. Staring deep in thought at the page, always good. Even when not the most entertaining thing in the world. But that's okay. I have my plan, and I burst into action. Who knew I could narrate this so excitingly? I think I got a little spoiled last week with all of our awesome raiders. That was the coolest and most unexpected thing that I think that has happened to me so far, streaming. Having like, I was talking to my mom who usually watches the stream, and I think she said at one point we had 50 people in the chat. I'm like, whoa, that is a new record for this channel. It was super cool. Also a good conversation. It was nice chatting with everybody. But such is Twitch. Some days it's busy. Some days you are largely streaming to entertain yourself / to create VODs. I knew what I was getting into when I started. Okay. Signage complete. So I think what I'll do, the foreground will really just be this front layer with the garden and the fence up through here, and maybe like this. I'll do a horizon line, and then the hills and clouds and stuff will be the background, and then I'll just do one in front layer for this fence line. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah. Like, oh, we're pretty much done inking, right? And then I realized, like, oh, it's just the most detailed panel. Actually, wait, is that? Did I lie? It might not be. This whole comic was actually pretty detailed, now that I think about it. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, a lot of these were pretty detailed. Okay, a few more of these sprouts to draw. What I am gonna do though, is I'm gonna take, since it's now 11:01, I'm gonna hop over. I'm gonna take our break. I'm gonna save, of course, always save. Yeah, I'm gonna take my break, run a 1-minute ad roll, and I'll come back fresh. By the way, I should have said this at the top of the stream. If we suddenly cut out, I will plan on being back. It may involve me having to reset our router. Our internet has been super wonky this whole week. The ISP Spectrum has been doing a lot of work in our neighborhood, and it seems like several times a day things just kind of go in and out, and then everything is slow until we reboot the router. So that may happen. Hopefully that won't happen during stream. So we'll see. But if something happens, if stream suddenly cuts, know that it is, you know, I will be bringing it back. It's probably not something too long lasting. It may be like 5-10 minutes for a router reboot. And I'll get back up as soon as I can. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead, put us on Be Right Back, run our ad roll, and that'll do it for break. So I hope you have a lovely break, and I'll see you all in just a moment. All right, we're back. I hope you had a good break. I had a little snack, used the restroom, had a little recharge. It's good. It's good. It occurs to me that I don't think I ever said what CoreToons is. At least not tonight. I've said it before. You know. And CoreToons is very simply, you might have seen it in our excuse me, in our little bot here, the message in chat, but yeah, it's a project we've embarked on for the last almost 3 years now, with some other creator friends, and it's these like short form semi-educational comics. So there's like humor, but there's also educational bits for kids grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Right now we're actually making a digital magazine. This is the first year we've tried it. I think they're coming out really well, and we're trying to figure out whether we want to keep doing it into the next school year, or whether 1 year is all that we'll end up doing. But it's been really fun. We're definitely going to finish out the year with it. But we also have a Substack, which you can see there. And the Substack is where we kind of keep updates flowing when there's new information to share. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I love our CoreToons team. We just have a good time. We just have a good time. Gonna see if I could share the thing, but share the thing. Yeah, we do have a web page, although it's not 100%. Oh, actually it is. Sorry. Nice. Sorry, our web page is still growing, but it's actually I'm quite pleased with it. You can actually binge some of our comics there, and our various series. Yeah. Hold on. I can share. Why not? While I'm talking up CoreToons, I might as well share what our actual webpage. Okay, sorry, just an OBS here. Yeah, so this is CoreToons. This is our homepage, which you can find right here. lovereading.co/CoreToons. Yeah, and so yeah, you see there's our Tribune looks like. It's this digital magazine with some little animations and lots of comics. We have links to video features where we've interviewed folks. It's been a lot of fun to make. Here you can see our team, Ashley and I, and Sarah Giles and Ken Ralston. We're the primary team, and then we have we feature some friends from the comics community. And yeah, you can just go through and see some of our different series. This is Ken's series Galacticats, which you can actually read in French, which is pretty cool. But you can see all of our series here. Here's all the sunny skies and weather-wise. We're working on catching up on some of the more recent stuff there, but we got a pretty good archive. It's basically you can work all the way through and kind of binge them if you wish. Where did we get through? The water cycle, at least. Yeah, so we got at least our first season and beginning of the second season in there for sunny skies and weather-wise. Where do we get to? We're working on posting more, but you can find most of our group's comics there and catch like a whole collection of them, read them all at once if that's how you prefer to do things. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And if you subscribe to the Substack, you can get all of our updates when we share them. Yeah. So in the meantime, let's get back to actually making a comic for CoreToons. You know what? You know what? I should have her planting the carrots or broccoli, because strawberries would be what would be the most likely to be coming up at this point in, like, as an early season thing. Man, I tell you what, we are very lucky to be here in Central Florida, because this is where strawberry season, it's happening right now. Actually, they had to do a lot of protection, some of the farms, because of the freezes that we were having. We got some hard freezes this season, which is obviously very strange for Central Florida, or very uncommon. But yeah, Plant City is where a lot of the early season strawberries in the States come from, and they actually have a whole strawberry festival, and it's incredible. Let me tell you. In past years, we've gone and gotten, like, they also have like a stand where they use the fresh strawberries to make stuff that you can get, like strawberry bread, strawberry milkshakes. It's pretty incredible. But yeah, early season strawberries, Plant City, delicious. Look for it. I'm not being paid by the state of Florida to advertise their strawberries. Yeah, strawberries make more sense there, I think. So then maybe we'll do carrots here. And we can keep the broccoli here. Not bad, okay. Just kind of make a neat little row here. That doesn't look like it makes sense. Really, I just need to adjust these ones down here. This one got a little bit offline. What do you mean there's no object to transform? Excuse me, what? What? Oh, I bet I have the wrong one. Yep. So the shrink selection tool and the lasso tool, in my defense, they look very similar. Very, very similar. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. Anyway, that's what was going on there. Should we make little broccoli buds coming out? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we don't need that. Actually use the lasso tool this time. Delightful. Look at that. We did it. The challenges of art. I make this more or less straight. Hey, CJ, how's it going? Good to see you. I hope you're having a good night so far. Oops, man. Straight lines, I tell you. My arch nemesis. Going okay? That's good. I'm glad it's okay at least. Hope, yeah. I always hope things are going well. I don't know if you celebrate Lunar New Year, but happy Lunar New Year to you. Oh my gosh, Jeff, seriously? No. Why? Straight lines. I'm just working on inking this last panel of the comic so far tonight. Thanks. Thank you very much. And apparently struggling to draw straight lines tonight, but I guess that's every night. I mean, could I just use the line tool? Yes, but it feels like cheating. Oop, tangent. Yeah, so CJ, what have you been up to lately? Bah. There we go. Better. Get rid of that. Okay, that's not bad. And one more. There we go. That worked out. Oh, nice. So you're getting really close then. Congratulations, that's exciting. So do you have any plans, like when you finish it, are you gonna post it somewhere, or do you have like yeah, I guess posting it like YouTube or something? Sadly, I don't do much animation, so I don't know the best way to share stuff. I'm guessing YouTube. Nice. Well, when you do, I would love it if you shared the link so you can check it out. Nice. Very cool. Doop. Oh my gosh, what was that? There we go. Better. Better. It's been one of those kind of nights. I feel like it's just, I don't have anything specific, but like I just feel like it's been so busy lately. I can't point to any one thing. I guess it's just life. Life has had a lot of stuff to manage. I don't know. Yeah, it's so funny because like you feel like, oh man, so much is going on, and then like you try to name like, okay, what is it specifically, and it's like, oh wait, I guess it's just all the things. That's better. Okay. I promise I'm not gonna get too mired down in adjusting individual vertices. But sometimes I can fix one or two, and that's nice. Okay, so this is a gate. Little dirt border up to there. Okay, coming along. This one has been sneaky. The other panels I knew were fairly detailed. This one, for some reason, I surprised myself at the amount of detail I had to draw. I could probably simplify it, but, you know. I need to get better at that, actually. Because with animation, I imagine you have to really pay attention to the amount of detail that you get into. It's kind of on an incline there, isn't it? Let's adjust that a little bit. Better. Yeah, you have to get the important parts in your animatic before doing tie downs. Yeah. Animation is so cool, man. I'm very, I don't know if envious is the word, but I admire it. I admire it a lot, the people who can do animation. Especially like you guys are just so fast like at doing stuff. It's very impressive. Not quite straight there. Yeah, it's funny because when Ashley and I first started looking to get into like kids books, we were looking at picture books, which a lot of times you get much bigger scenes in those, and they tend to have a bit more detail. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but they tend to be more big illustrations, and then making comics is a bit of an adjustment because you're making so many more panels. So even there, you have to pare down the details a bit as well. But like the benefit is, once I started doing, comics with multiple panels and illustrations, when I've gone to do single like illustrations, I'm like, oh man, this is so much quicker. Even though they do tend to involve more detail, but especially spot illustrations, man, those feel like a treat now. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? It is one of those nights. It is just, yeah. Thank goodness for Vector. Okay. Let's see. So this is a gate. Might actually make this like a split post like that, so that it can have like a actual place where the gate swings open. Yeah, I think I might actually need to do that for both sides, because one will have a hinge and one will have a latch. So make that wider. That way I can stretch this out a little bit. And then split it. Almost had it. There we are. Okay. Okay, so I will draw this front side of the fence here as another layer that goes all the way in the front. Actually, I probably don't want to have... Because if I want grass blades there, I'll draw them in on that front layer, not on this one. Okay, that makes sense. So I'll draw hinges here. So the latch will be on that side, but you wouldn't see it because it would be on the outside. But at least it makes sense how the gate would open and close. And if anyone out there is wondering if I am intending to draw every link in this fence, it's going to be like a chicken wire mesh, then the answer is absolutely not. That is insanity, and I will not and I will not do that to myself, nor will I force anybody else to watch that. Yep, that's the eraser, Jeff. That's the eraser. So yeah, one thing I thought was really cool that I learned when I took like an online, like a design course, was that it's, you know, our brains like to actually autocomplete things for us. So when you're drawing textures and stuff like that, you don't have to usually fill the whole thing. Usually if you give just enough detail to give a picture of what it's like and then draw little bits in enough places, the brain will tend to fill in for it, and that's actually called the Gestalt effect. At least that's what they taught in the course I took. Yeah, I just thought that was really cool. I had not previously heard of it. It's going up a little bit. Really, Jeff? There we go. How do I want to do this? I do need to think about how I want to make this pattern clear, but not force myself to draw it over and over again. Nor do I really want to drop in a Clip Studio texture. I mean, I know I could do that just to fill in the whole thing, but I feel like that's going to look, you know, odd, especially given kind of the style of everything else. So let's think about this. Okay, so I filled in a lot of that texture there because it's a small area, and I think if I do that, it'll kind of help give the idea of what's happening in the rest of it, even if I don't fill it out quite to that same level. But we'll see. We'll see, won't we? Better. I am, of course, considering that with not the full number of lines, I do want to make sure that they actually make enough sense to fill in the pattern. Okay. Okay, I think this is okay. I think that with, especially because there will be scenery behind, this won't look as sparse as it does right now, because it's supposed to look, because I think it'd be really busy if I tried to draw everything in there. Oh, right, this would have something here. Hey, that straight line went pretty well. Maybe now, an hour and 45 minutes into stream, I'm finally getting warmed up. You know, because that's how it goes. Okay, so I think the foreground layer is finally done, and that's great. That makes me very happy, because it's been a pain. But that's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Actually, I'm kind of now thinking this grass line should be part of the fence, foreground fence layer, which is, you know, easy enough to do. Go. Yeah, I thought we were going to be laying down colors on this tonight, so I'm glad I started working on it at least, because otherwise I would have, you know, been in for a rude surprise when I came to, you know, work on this, or came looking at like, oh, we got to finish this by March 15th. I'm like, oh, I'm not as far as I thought I was. Panic. That's better. Okay. tangent that. Gotta put that a little bit above the fence line there. I did want some grass blades right in front of it there, which I can do then. Okay, just about there. Well, CJ, if you're still here, sorry I'm being very quiet. It's apparently that time of the night where I tend to just get a little bit more locked in. But I hope you're enjoying hanging out. Why am I doing this? Why would I do this to myself? You know, at some point you just gotta go with work smarter, not harder. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do here. Wait, did I say? I think I might have said that backwards. Did I say harder, not smarter? Because what I meant to say was work smarter, not harder. But I think I actually said the opposite of that, which is apparently a sign that it's, you know, almost time to cut stream. Speaking of, I'm super glad that stream didn't cut itself so far tonight with our wonky internet as of this week. So that's been really nice that it's all been working. I appreciate that. Alright, so that's good. So I can actually. Nope. Why are my hands so unsteady tonight? My goodness. What's up with that? Hey, okay. So I just need to draw the ink in the background, but it is 11:57. And I think this is where I'm gonna call it. So, okay. I don't think I'm gonna finish this off stream before the next week. So let's pop back to just chatting. All right. So I'll probably be working on this next week. That is my thought. I'll probably try to ink some of it, or at least finish the inking of that last panel between now and next week. So I'll do that. And then we'll be doing some coloring and maybe shading. It's actually quite a few panels and quite a bit of detail, so it might take a bit to get through flat colors. We'll see how it goes, but I think we'll plan on coming back to this next week, unless I mean, I could start laying down colors in the week between. It kind of just depends on what the week is like. We're trying to get out to Epcot last couple of times we can for Festival of the Arts. We can't go on weekends, so I think Monday is the last night. So we've been enjoying that. Oh my gosh, I haven't even shown the stuff that I got from that. Maybe next week I'll show my art postcards that I picked up. But yeah, so we're trying to get to that, which eats up a few weeknights. I should be able to make some progress though. At least inks will be done. Maybe some colors will be laid down. We'll finish coloring and then maybe get to shading next week. And if somehow everything is magically done before then, we'll pick back up on the D&D piece. But I expect we'll be seeing this one next week, and that's all good. Anything else? Yeah, so I've got last week's YouTube video uploaded. I just need to get the description filled in and put in the thumbnail. So that'll be going up sometime probably over the weekend. And then this stream I will have scheduled to go up Wednesday of next week by noon. I think that's my plan. Trying to keep YouTube up to date a little bit better than I have been over the last month or two. So that's going on. Yeah, not really anything else crazy to announce. It's been kind of a quiet night, but that's not always bad. And I think it's nice that even on a quiet night, I have a few friends who stop by and say hey. I appreciate that always. So if you want to catch future streams, this is my usual stream time, Thursday nights, 10 p.m. I am working on finding a new time, an additional time to stream, because I do enjoy doing it. I like hanging out with y'all. So we'll figure it out. At least I would love to do at least one additional stream per month, but we'll see. It's been something I've been talking about for a while. It's just hard with two kids with activities and a busy life. It's hard to fit in, but I love doing this. So you will at least see me on Thursdays, 10 p.m. If you want to see more of our work, you can check us out at our socials. Ashley and I are WagWorksGA here on Twitch, over on YouTube, and then also over on Instagram, although we don't post there much. Maybe one of these days we'll get back to it. You can also check out our website, WagWorksGA, where my portfolio is. You can actually see a little bit more of our stuff. We have a blog that we sometimes update, and we actually have a shop with some stuff that you can order. So that's pretty fun. So a lot of my past like Pokemon art and some of the stuff I've done for GDQ in the past, we're offering over there. Anything else? Goodness gracious. I think that's about it, honestly. Yeah, so CoreToons next week. Thanks again to everyone who stopped by. If you're watching the VOD, either on Twitch or YouTube, thank you. That is another great way to support me. Feel free to drop a follow, like, subscribe, comment, whatever is appropriate on the platform you're there and whatever you feel moved to do. I just like to hear from you, and it's a great way to show me your support. So thank you for that. yeah, gosh, I hope you guys all have a great week. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great night. And just thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye.